Hi knitters, welcome to PJ Knits. My name is Penny. You also can call me PJ, and I live in Central Illinois, and I'm a knitter, a blogger, and a YouTube podcaster. Today is Tuesday, March 7th, and welcome. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be hopefully a really shorter episode. I've been wanting to do this for a week or so, but started last week with catching some sort of cold, spring cold. So I have put it off. And so the reason it's going to be a short one is because after I talk for a while, the cough starts, the nose runs, and all of that thing. So I'm doing okay, but still, I don't want to inflict that all upon you. But I wanted to get out there and finish some things up and talk about the giveaways that have been going on with PJ Knits last time. Thank you all for your comments. First, the weather report. Today it is 47 and sunny, a little breezy outside in Central Illinois. Yesterday we were in the mid 60s, and I put my head out just for a little bit yesterday. It was so nice. It's if you follow me on other media, definitely spring is coming to Central Illinois. My little sprouts are sprouting up all over the place in the backyard, and some of the grasses are coming up, so it's so much fun to watch that. And we'll talk about spring here in a little bit, but before we go any further, to make sure that I get at least this piece in, I want to talk to you about our giveaways from the last podcast. Now, as you have probably seen, if you are listening to other podcasts, there's been this bot going around on YouTube posing as the podcaster and sending direct messages to people telling them they have won something and that they should contact them. Again, as many others have said, I will say it here as well. If you win on PJ Knits, I will announce it here on YouTube. So for the most part, if you don't see it coming out of my mouth, then it didn't happen. And then maybe if there is a Ravelry one, I would announce it to the Ravelry group, which is PJ Knits. And we did have a winner. G Cookie won a pattern of her choice last week. She was the first to finish and post her Burra Cowl, which is a hashtag Burra Cowl 2023 or the hashtag PJ Knits Burra Cowl on Instagram, and that is going for some time. I don't have anything to show on the Burra Cowl knit. I have knit a few more rows, but I didn't get to the point where I wanted to share it with you all or have it steamed and in better condition for you all to see what's going on. I am a slow goer on my Burra Cowl, but I think that's basically because there's some other things that I'm going to talk about in future podcasts that have really been on my needles and things that I have been concentrating on that I'm loving doing, but I'm going to save those as a teaser for the next couple of podcasts. So anyway, again, I just wanted to let you all know about bots, and if you get something other than seeing it coming out right here, it's not happening. So first up, we have 5 winners for the Row by Row Sampler Cowl by Irene. And here is mine. I am loving that. I have another one that I want to knit. I love this knit. This was a nice, fun knit. I can't say enough about it. And so if you're so inclined, please go out and purchase her pattern. The proceeds are going to the Frivolous and Frugal 3-ply mini meetup in July, and I just love it. I did this out of Sunday Knits yarn, and those notes are in the last podcast down in the description box, along with on my Ravelry page. So anyway, we're going to start with the winners of the Row by Row Sampler Cowl by Irene Designs on Ravelry. And we're going to start with those. And I have put them on a piece of paper because the very last name, I'm not sure if that's your name or if that's just your YouTube login handle. And so I put them on here so that you all would know. And so if you would contact me, one of several ways you can do it. You can email me at pjknitspodcast@gmail.com. You can instant message me on Instagram. I am PJ Knits. or go out to Ravelry. I am Penny J on Ravelry, and let me know what your Ravelry login name is, and I will gift 5 people this pattern that commented last time. And here are the 5. Now, if you're not on Ravelry, let me know on one of the other directions, and I will purchase the pattern and get it to you somehow. But contact me, and we'll get those out. And here are the winners for the Row by Row. And congratulations to those winners. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to knit it out of and your finished project as well. And then the other giveaway that we had is a 52 Weeks of Easy Knits book. This is getting a lot of looking time in of late, and I'm going to, again, share those things in future episodes. But I have talked about the book before. I am loving this book. It's so much fun, and there's so many possibilities, as you can see by my little greenies there. So the winner of this particular book from the last one is Stephanie Benson. Yay, Stephanie. You, if you'll contact me in one of those other spots with your address, I'd be glad to get that book out to you in the next couple of weeks as I can get to the post office. So I am so pleased with you all that have left comments below, and I thank you so much. And there are going to be more giveaways, so stay tuned. So congratulations, everybody, and again, thank you. Okay. Finished object. I only have one finished object to share with you all. I'm happy to report. I wish I had more. And this one is a pattern from Leslie Friend, who does a podcast, A Friend to Knit With. And this is her Beatrice mitts. And there's something I want to tell you about this. And the yarn I've used is Turtle Pearl yarns in her trench coat pattern, okay? Yarn, fingering weight. And something I want to talk about here is a couple of things. I was going to call this podcast last week, Trust. Trust your pattern, trust the instructions, and just do what they say, okay? So here is the pattern, and I chose the same yarn that she used. And I did the first one last year, and there's a right, and then there's a left. And when I did the first one, as I was knitting along, I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what she's telling me to do. And my penny brain was like, oh, I'm just going to do it like I would do anything else. But here we go, which I love. I love everything about it. But then I decided a couple of months later I wanted to get this finished object done, and I did the left needle, and I followed the instructions, okay? I did exactly what she told me to do, and I'm like, aha. So that was what came to my mind, that you need to follow the instructions, and I liked it so much better when I followed her instructions. But now I have 2, and I would say that these are on a smaller needle, and I have my notebook, my journal from last year, and I did size 1. I did a size 1 needle with these, and it's a very tight fitting gauge.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
We weren't talking to you. Anyway, see, those things happen with your heavy watch on. She only listens to me when I don't want her to. When I ask her a question, she doesn't respond. But anyway, so I like the tight fit that I'm getting on there with this particular mitt. And the reason I like it is I have arthritis down here in this joint, and in cooler weather, or it hurts. It hurts, and so I find putting this on with a little bit tighter gauge in my knit that it holds that in, and it just makes it warmer. So I totally liked everything about this. And this again is Beatrice Mitts by Leslie Friend. I got it on Ravelry, and the yarn is turtle pearl striped turtle toes in the trench coat. And so here is my right one. As you can see, this is what my right thumb, and it was at the thumb portion, right? And the difference between maybe 6 months is I got a little bit different gauge on my needle as well. Here is the left as instructed, okay? So you can see a little bit of a difference here. It's black, but what can I say? A little bit difference in it. And I noticed, even in my ribbing, the difference in 6 months. I was a little bit tighter on here. I like them. I love them. I really enjoy wearing them, and I will continue to wear them. And so that is finally the finished object. Started out last year. Started out in July of 2022. So that's how long I've had this on the needle, and finished that up. And so now I can take that particular one out of my knitting journal for right now. So that's the only finished object that I have to show today. Let's talk for a brief moment about PJ Knit's sweater project. As many of you know, what I'm trying really, really hard for 2023 is to knit my sweaters ahead of the season, which means right now I should be concentrating on some summer sweaters, right? And just to give you a heads up, guys, spring starts on the 20th, which is, 13 days from now, and spring goes through June 21st. So I am thinking about summer sweaters that I want to start knitting fairly soon. And again, I'm going to save those a few for the next episode when I have my act all together with the patterns, the yarn, and for a little bit better voice to talk about. But sometimes I just want to say also that summer sweaters for me does not necessarily always have to be short sleeve sweaters. I am habitually cold, right, in the summertime, in the air conditioning inside. So a lot of times I don't mind doing a 3/4 sleeve or even a full length sleeve just to take care of the air conditioning. Pardon me. The other thing is there are some knitting adventures coming my way this summer. And when they're are held inside, in particular, I got accepted to Meg Swanson's knitting camp in July. And I remember from past years that room is really cold. So you really have to dress for the Arctic sometimes in there and layering. So some of the sweaters that I am knitting for now are going to go to Meg Swanson's knitting camp for the cold room. And also the other, one of the big knitting adventures is May in Montreal. So I know that the weather's probably going to be 50, 60 then. And so the sweaters that I am knitting right now really can be considered going into knitting adventures and along with air conditioning, and then again coming out on the other side, transitional sweaters in the fall. So those are some things that I want to share with you in my sweaters today, and just kind of give you a progress report. First up, if you've been watching before, we've talked about Niagara. This is by Heidi Kirrmaier. And the interesting thing about this particular sweater is it's twofold. This one's definitely going to the mini meetup because we're doing green sweaters. And the last time we all were together and I showed you my my knit. I was on the sleeve here, and I have finished my sleeve and picked up the backs and the fronts now, and I'm knitting on it. And I realized as I did this, as I got back to this little project, that the eyelets are only here in the back, and the rest of the knit is all stockinette. So this is a great sweater for me to be knitting on during Zoom, and I'm super, super pleased with it. And I will get back at that. I've got my these mini and pearl stitch stoppers. I am loving these, and found a couple of resources for some other ones. I really like these stitch stoppers. So they're on my green, in my green bag, and I need to get back to that because I'd love to have that for St. Patrick's Day, which, you know, is 10 days away. So I better get myself moving when it comes to that particular one, right? So that is Niagara. What else did I want to tell you about that? Oh, I wanted to just mention, and for those who are new or haven't seen this before, I started this last February in 2022, and then decided to put it off because there was no way I was going to have it done for summertime, and then, you know, lots of things happened. So, but I have an inspiration photo that I am going with on styling, because, you know, that's somebody who doesn't have that knack needs to see how others are styling it, be it ready to wear. And this is a ready to wear sweater that I saw styled along the same fashion in the green and the turquoise. And so I'm just going to share that with you. So I've got some options of possibles there for some styling techniques. So I'm super, super stoked about that and want to get that done. My other summer knitting adventure sweater that I have talked about before is called Sea Salt by Laura Aylor. And the thing that brings this one to my mind is twofold. This, again, she's walking on the beach. We've talked about that. I see myself walking on the beach, right? In something like that, maybe in the future. This one also, I think, would be perfect for some walks along the Peoria riverfront or my riverfront, you know, when it's a little cool, either in this spring yet, because we will have days that will be chilly. But I am really putting this towards wearing at Montreal, most definitely, because it's going to be the perfect sweater for up there. And I have it in my summer bag by Molly Klein, and have cast on and just got a little ways on it. And this was one of those things too, again, that I didn't really read the pattern. And for some reason, I did not realize that the cast on is done at the sleeve. I thought the cast on was being done at this point, and it wasn't. It is actually the sleeve. So I have a sleeve that is started, which is super, super cool. I'm not sure how it goes from here if we do this and then the other sleeve and they all connect. But wouldn't that be fun to have actually the sleeves done? I'm becoming more and more a proponent of doing sleeves before you finish the rest of the body. So I'm super stoked about this one. This is going to be a knitting adventure sweater that will go, that is technically going to be a summer sweater for me as well. So wanted to share those couple of sweaters that we have. And that is basically it. Except for, let's just do a quick review. One of the other things I wanted to talk about a couple of weeks ago, or the first of the month, is just a review of my February journal completions. Sunday squares. I did 7 squares last month, and that was because I did a couple per Sunday I do in my blanket, and I finished my Yume. It was a hashtag 3 knit whips, and finished my Beatrice mitts, and I finished Ace. I still have a couple of things that are outstanding. I had Autumn League on here, and I basically cut bait on that because that was another one of those trust issues. I should have trusted my swatch. I should have trusted my knitting earlier on. I cast my Autumn League on with my Alba yarn by Jody Long and in the larger needle. And I did not like it. I didn't like it in my swatch, but it was close enough to gauge, and I thought I wanted to do it, right, the sweater. And so I cast on, and I got a little past the direction, the V detail, the neck detail, and I was knitting on it. I was like, I don't like this on this yarn on this larger gauge needle. And so I made the decision to just rip it out. I have set Autumn League aside, it back into my library for fall, because I think it still has, I still want to knit it, but I think I put it aside for a fall transitional sweater. And I saw something on an ad or a QVC or something like that, and which gave me an idea of what I would like to do for my Autumn League in the fall. Maybe do a little tweedy yarn with something a little different for the neck or whatever. So, and maybe even in the actual yarn that it was knit out of. So I have put that aside for now, along with some other things. The nice thing, my in-out kind of thing that I'm keeping track of, no new yarn came in, and I finished 42 grams that went out. So I'm super, super stoked about my my February journal and how it all came out. And there's a kind of a short little dissertation, I guess, of things for March, and so I'll keep you posted. That's kind of a wrap up of what was in February and March. And then that's all the things that I really want to share with you today. I have something I want to share with you today. And this is another giveaway. And I'm just going to do a little shout out to a lady called Sandy. We call her Queen Sandy. If you watch Dude Knits, if you watch Frivolous and Frugal, if you watch 3-Ply, you'll know that this is a sweetheart of a lady. Lives up in Wisconsin. I met her last year at the mini meetup. I see her on Tuesday nights on Dude Knits Zoom. She's a sweetheart. She's a bag maker. She doesn't sell them. She gives them away. And she is the most generous lady of all times. And so the PJ Knits podcast, along with others, I received one of her mini meetup bags last year that I love and use all the time. It is my new tote bag. I am a tote bag fanatic. I like project bags, but man, I do love a good tote bag. And she she's got it. She's got it. This is her own pattern, and the things that she puts into it is just super, super cool. So the podcast was a recipient of some bags to give away for this year. And so we're going to give the first one away in this episode, but I just want to share that she is a queen. That is for sure. She is Queen Sandy. And I can't say thank you enough for your generosity. I know what it goes into to make these bags. And like I said, she doesn't sell them. And she's just a super, super sweet lady and fun to be around with. And I can't wait to be with her again in person. So this summer. But so Sandy, if you watch and you get this far, thank you. I can't tell you thank you enough. But anyway, so here is the bag. This is the first one we're going to give away. And there are multiple fabrics, three or four different fabrics. I'm keeping one with a turquoise pocket for me that I'll show next time. But here is this week's giveaway. This is so cute. And yes, it says PJ Knits on there, so you'll know where you got it from. Look at those. Goats and lambs, and I'm going to say llamas because they're my favorite, but they may be alpacas. Has this generous back side pocket. And here is the other side. Look at this bottom. And then inside, this is a super, super cool. It is the same fabric on the inside. And there's a lovely zip thing. And I love this because I can put my phone and my credit card down in there. And then up here, I can put throw my keys or whatever, but has a nice in there, and it is so much fun, guys. A nice strap you can throw over your shoulders, right? And very sturdy, and when you put your stuff in there, it sits up pretty well. So this is going to be a giveaway for the next podcast, and how to do that. Comment below, of course, and in your comment, tell me about tote bags in general. Tell me, mention tote bags. Tell me if you have a favorite maker of a tote bag. Tell me if you also search out for the perfect tote. You know, it always goes back to me like the perfect handbag that will double as a tote, that will take my knitting as well. And so I have a little, I'm always searching for that perfect one. But lately, the perfect tote bag, and this is one of them. So talk about tote bags in the comments below. And in a couple of weeks, I will choose a winner from those comments. Okay, so next time, there is a project that I have been working on in the last week that is the reason all of these others have not gotten much. A couple of friends, Annetta and Lindsay and Tasha, we're doing a little mini knit along. I'll share that with you next time. And I'll give you, progress report on that. And hopefully next time I will have, we'll either do summer sweaters next time, or I will have a scrappy episode, which I think I'm leaning more to a scrappy episode, but there's definitely going to be an episode coming about summer sweaters and where we're going with those as well. So those are the next couple of episodes, maybe intermingled with everything, and so that's going on next. I'm loving what I'm seeing out here. Spring, blue skies, sunny. I hope you're having some sunny skies as well. Again, thank you for everyone who has reached out, who have been here. I just realized I'm fairly certain from what I see on Facebook memories, I did my first podcast 5 years ago later this month, after I came back from Florida to spend time with my friends Kathy and Victoria and Debbie. And I think I came back, it says I was in Florida 5 years ago, so it looks like 5 years ago later this month, I also came and started my podcast. And so we're at 5 years podiversary later this month, and over 500 subscribers. Thank you, everyone, for helping to build this community here at PJ Knits. I do appreciate it. And before I forget, we are doing Saturday Zooms, Saturday nights at 6 o'clock Central Time here, Illinois time. And we go to 8-ish, 8:30, talking about knitting, talking about other things. The Zoom link and password is in the PJ Knits Ravelry group. If you are interested and don't do Ravelry, if you will email me at pjknitspodcast@gmail.com, I'll send you the link via there as well. But we are planning on continuing that of the foreseeable future on Saturday evenings. I chose Saturday because I didn't think there were other podcasts going on, and it doesn't conflict with people who have to go to work on Monday and trying to get ready on Sunday nights. So we're doing Saturday night at 6 o'clock. It's a small group right now, which is fine. We're building a community, and we're having a lot of fun talking about heading out and getting shamrock shakes right after, and our knitting and other things that are out there that we're looking at. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there as well, and let you know about the Zoom continuing. If for some reason, I wasn't feeling well or whatever, I would try and post out there on Instagram or in Ravelry to let you all know. But even last week, I just mute when I have to cough. So thanks again for tuning in. And we will see you next time. Until then, knit on with confidence and hope.